everybody. We're at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and begin. Let's start in mountain pose. Good to see you all here. Just make your way up to the top of your mat. We'll start in a nice, tall, proud standing position. You might start with a few deep breaths, breathing in deeply through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. A nice big circle in the shoulders. Really just a good check-in with your body. There you go. Throughout your body. Just noticing how you feel this morning. What your body might need this morning. If you like another deep breath in, and as you exhale, you might release a nice soft sigh. Good. And just continue with slow, steady breaths. And even feel free to continue this light movement throughout your body. Checking in with your hips. We are doing hip openers today. Down your legs to your knees, your ankles, and feet and toes. Perhaps right back up the body, your shoulders, elbows, wrists and fingers. I always like to kind of check in with the joints of the body. And of course, your head and neck. And again, just continue with this gentle movement, moving with breath, or just find stillness. Just continue this connection, taking this journey inward, noticing the breath. And as you need to, if you need to, just turn up the volume of your breath so you can hear that steady sound in and out. There you go. Experience how your body is responding to your breath. That might simply be the rise and fall of your chest or your belly as you breathe in and out. Good. Deepening this connection. Taking this opportunity to let go of the things that are going on outside of you. And pay closer attention to what's going on inside of you. Let's deepen this awareness. As you inhale, just feel your breath rising upward, fill your lungs. So a nice, deep, expansive breath. Audible breath. And as you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel in towards your spine. Just a light pulling in sensation, not too strong. Just an awareness of your center. Again, an inhale, a lengthening of the spine, breath rising, fill up your lungs. Fill yourself up. And the exhale, drawing belly in, just creating the abdominal lock. Just that light engagement of your abdominal muscles. And just continue that, maybe 3 more breaths. Good. Preparing your body to move. Excellent. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just take your time, a nice stretch, reach all the way up. And exhale, we'll fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you guide your way down, maybe touching your toes, but of course you don't have to touch your toes. Inhale and slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine. Feel like you're coming forward. And exhale, we'll fold again, back down towards your toes. Even modify the position by just resting your hands on your shins, perhaps. Just notice how this feels wherever you are. This folding position, how it affects your back, your legs. Perhaps feeling a heaviness as gravity draws you downward. Maybe drawing down through the crown of your head. A couple things to
Do with your arms, you can just let them hang. Maybe some circles here, like you're stirring a pot of soup. Again, just getting into the joints of the shoulders. And even to feel a little more heavy, you might hold on to opposite elbows, drawing yourself down a little deeper, again, only if that feels okay. Releasing your head and your neck. Just nod yes a few times, shake your head no.
We're going to come back up to a halfway lift. So inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending your spine, half forward fold, just creating this tabletop-like position. So you're flat like a table, feet rooted into the earth, keeping a softness in the knees. Feel the leg engagement. They should feel strong, helping you to support your body in this posture. And then now a weight shift back into your heels. Bend your knees and lower your hips like you're sitting down. At the same time, lifting the chest, the spine should stay long here. And extend your arms out to the side and stand up all the way, reaching into the air. Another nice stretch. Then exhale, you can bring your arms down to your side or bring hands down to your heart. Here. Holding for a moment. Nice breath. Let's do that again. And inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. Another nice stretch. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips, soft knees. Take your time. A partial fold or a full fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Fully extend your spine, returning to that flat back like a table. Exhale, melt your way back down. Feel the natural curve of the spine, releasing head, neck, and your shoulders. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees, take that seat, lifting the chest, keeping spine long. Outstretched arms as you rise up with the breath in. Good. Reaching into the air. And exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side. Good. Another pause here. Deep breaths. Feel your breath. Listen to the sound of your breath. This is our foundation. And let it guide you through your practice. And again, we're working on hips today. Be aware of how your hips feel this morning. We'll be moving into some poses. Some are pretty dynamic, so modify, change, shift as you need to as we move into these poses. Let's continue. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, leading with heart, fold forward, make your way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, long spine, crown comes forward. Exhale, fold and bend. Bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat out in front of you. And walk or step or even hop the feet back into plank pose. Your high push-up position, we're holding for a moment. Feel the energy and strength in the body. Breathe in. And the exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. This is our shortcut right into downward facing dog, and you're invited to do that every time we get to that flow. We'll be adding on those other poses. But again, modify that transition as you need to, whenever you need to. So as we are here in downward facing dog, feel free to adjust your feet on the mat, adjust your hands. Yeah, so you feel steady, you feel strong here. You can hold in stillness, be with breath, or move your body. Yeah, maybe pedaling the feet, getting into your toes, the soles of your feet, your heels, even your ankles. Maybe pedal like you're walking or pedaling a bicycle. Letting the knees bend and already getting into your hips. Feel free to rest if you need to. If you need to come off the hands, take a rest if you need to. All right, moving from here, nice full breath in, filling up your lungs. Exhale, that core engagement. Bend your knees so you can walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of your mat, so you'll be in forward fold. There it is. Inhale, rising halfway up. Long spine, tabletop. Exhale, fold, complete release, all the way down. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Let's inhale, reverse the swan dive. Coming up, reaching into the air. This exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position. Bending the knees, feel like you're sitting back into a seat and that chair's behind you. There's a weight shift into your hips and your heels. Maybe you can tap your toes because the weight is back. Outstretched arms, either parallel to the floor or up high or even bent elbows, just for balance. Holding a bit longer because we're going to be using this posture a little bit later in our practice. Let's breathe in. Exhale, diving out of the seat back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, re-extend your spine.
Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. All the way down we go. Plant the hands out onto the mat. Hop, step, or walk the feet back into plank pose. Arriving here, same thing as before. You can always take the shortcut to downward facing dog. Or with your exhale, bend your elbows and lower your way down, finishing the push-up. Yeah, you can bring knees to the floor first, then chest. Nice control there. Inhale, rising halfway up here to a cobra pose, or all the way up to an upward facing dog, or keep it really low if you'd like. Then onto your toes with an exhale, lifting the knees, then hips, as if they're being lifted right up into the air. Adjust your hands and feet. Feel that full arrival of your body in the posture. Just continue with movement. Inhale, extending right leg up behind you. Let's reach and hold here for a moment. Keep breathing in and out. Feel as if the leg, your foot is reaching to touch the wall behind you. Don't worry about needing to lift the leg high because it doesn't have to. Just feel the full extension. Breathe in. Here we go. Exhale, we're stepping through. Right foot to the top of the mat, landing near right hand, or even picking up the foot if you need to, planted there. We're going to turn that left heel to the floor behind you so both feet are solid on the ground. Be sure to shift your body weight back into that foot so your hands feel light, so you can easily rise up, hinging from hips to a warrior one, facing forward, arms straight up. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold with a straight-ish spine. Coming down, plant the hands into the earth. Slide the right foot back to meet the other. There's plank pose. Take the shortcut to down dog again, or finish your flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. That's the bottom of the push-up there. Find a back bend. Lots of opportunities there. Sphinx, cobra, locust. And then moving, when you're ready, with an exhale to downward facing dog. Yes, stepping into place, adjusting feet and hands. Other side when you're ready. And inhale to extend left leg up and back. Reach and hold. Keep breathing in and out. Each inhale, just feel like you're getting longer. Exhale, getting stronger. There it is. Okay. Again, you don't have to lift the leg high. And inhale, getting ready to move your exhale now, stepping through or stepping over an imaginary object. Left foot to the top of the mat. Turn that back leg so the heel's on the floor behind you. Pull the weight back, more sensation in that back foot. Hands should be light. You can hinge your way up, facing forward for warrior one. Exhale, folding. Right back down to the earth. Plant your hands. Slide the left foot back. There's plank pose. Complete your series as you like to. Just meeting in downward facing dog. You can always skip parts of the segment there. Adjust as needed each time. Each one might be a little different. Arriving in downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths there. We're going to do some floor work, so gently kneel down onto your mat, sit back briefly into hero, so you're freeing your hands. Sit off to the side, so you can swing the legs around to the front here. Scoot forward, perhaps, so you're just in the center of your mat, so you have room behind you, because you're going to roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw your knees into chest. Add some movement here as it feels good. Maybe rocking left and right, forward and back, some circles, figure eights. Even get into your feet here, okay? I would suggest maybe circling the ankles one direction, try the other direction. Getting into the ankles. Flex the feet, point, okay? More circles. Okay? Since we're doing hip openers, one of the postures we will be doing is pigeon pose, and although it does affect the hips, it also gets into our ankles a little bit, so just want to find some mobility there. Okay. Before we move into bridge pose, let's set the feet down onto the mat. Take the feet wide, so they're maybe out right at the edges of the mat. We're going to do a twist. We just call it a windshield wiper twist. Okay, so feet are at the edges of the mat, maybe even a little bit off the mat. Carefully take both knees over to the left side and let the feet kind of drop naturally. Now, this is where blocks could come in handy if you need them, okay? So the left leg, you're getting an outer rotation, and that leg might touch the floor. If it doesn't, maybe place a block underneath it. That right leg, right knee, is dipping inward, and it's an inward spiral or an inward rotation, okay? And just being aware of how this might feel on the knee.
Okay, you don't want to, if it feels kind of torqued, you might want to lift that knee a little bit, or even place a block if you can reach. Place a block underneath that knee so it's kind of resting on it. So you don't over rotate in the hip or that knee joint. And also notice what's happening in the hips, in the low back. Another pose we'll be doing a little bit later will involve kind of this inward spiral. Let's do the other side. So come back up. Maybe hold here at center for a moment. And let's take the knees over to the other side. Okay, so a little windshield wiper rotation. Now the right leg has got an outer rotation, left leg inner rotation. Use those blocks as you need to. Now you could, if it feels okay, you can certainly create more sensation by perhaps taking your right foot and placing it on top of that left knee and gently pressing it downward towards the floor, only if it feels okay. If it's aggravating the knee, then you may not want to do that. All right, a couple more breaths. Good. Let's return to center. There we are. You can keep the feet wide, maybe not that wide, maybe bring them in a little bit as we prepare for your bridge pose. Even draw the heels in a little closer towards yourself so there's good leverage. Breathing in, filling up your lungs. Exhale, empty your belly. Using that energy to now press feet into the ground so hips can float right up into the air. Continue to make adjustments with the feet. Even get your upper body involved. You might rock your upper body left and right several times to get your arms and shoulders underneath you. You might have to do that several times. Arms underneath you. So you're almost like you're resting kind of on the back portions of the shoulders. If you bend your elbows so your arms are at 90 degrees, press down into the mat with the triceps and elbows in order to help lift and open and sustain the opening of the posture in the upper body. Notice what's happening in the hip flexors, the top of the thighs here, right at the belt line, even low belly. 2 more breaths. Okay, to come out of the pose, let's start by wiggling the feet forward a little bit. That should make space in the low back. Extend your arms up into the air. Reach for the ceiling to get the shoulders out from underneath you. And then roll your way down to the earth. Soft landing. Once you're down, extend your legs out front. Extend your arms behind you, just like you're standing in extended mountain pose. This is just a nice good morning stretch. Lengthening here. After that lengthening, when you're ready, draw both knees into the chest once again. We're going to rise to seated, so you might rock forward and back, gain some momentum. Use an exhale to rock your way up, or even roll to the side and press yourself up. Let's come to boat pose. Lots of variations of boat. Just be sure your spine feels long, straight up and down. We're at an angle here. Feet can be on the floor or lift the feet. Do activate the feet, even if they're on the ground. Activate them by flexing the feet or pointing your toes. That'll just keep your legs strong right here. Okay. Knees can stay bent. You can extend the legs, hold on, free up. Lots of variations. And of course, breath. So the inhale, yeah. Filling up the lungs, nice expansiveness there. Exhaling, maybe through the mouth, engaging here. And we'll hold this for about 15 minutes. No problem. Good, we're going to breathe in and exhale. Just set the feet back down onto the floor. Kind of soften that. Okay, we're kind of going to repeat that windshield wiper twist, but just seated. Okay, so you're going to sit up tall, take the feet wide. Maybe just support yourself with your hands here. Okay, taking the feet wide, and then drop the knees to the left. Okay, and then just sit up tall like so. So same sensation. So we're getting an outer spiral of that left leg, inner rotation of the right. Use your hands to prop yourself up. Yeah. Okay. So a slightly different sensation, but dynamically that rotation. If you have space, you're not going to kick anyone. Could you start to extend that left leg? Doesn't have to go all the way straight. Just see what that feels like to extend the leg. If you have room there. Okay. Alrighty, we'll bend that knee. Bring it back in. All right, just kind of lift, come back to center. And we'll do the other side. Same thing, if maybe that knee doesn't go all the way down, maybe this is the end of the pose here. The legs don't have to touch the ground, just a little block, something like that, just so it's resting on something right there. Okay. If you have room, maybe extending that right leg. Notice how that feels. Nice and tall in the torso. A couple more breaths. All right, we're just going to make our way back up. Let's go ahead and just return to boat pose as a way to transition, adding a little momentum, some breath. We're going to inhale like you're floating up off the ground. Exhale, crossing legs, maybe hands out front or even to the side there. So you can get the feet back behind you. Just take your time. Just maneuver the feet back behind you so you've made it back to plank. Let's all take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, and of course adjust the feet and hands, settle in, even wag your tail a little bit. Okay, let's continue. Inhale, extend right leg up into the air. Reach, feel the extending body. And we're going to open the hip, so bend your knee, bring your heel down towards your backside. A little lift of the knee. Now, with the knee bent, the leg might lift a little higher, okay, because there's less weight. Okay, so you might be able to lift a little higher, a little rotation, a little twist in the spine. And then create a big circle in the air with the right knee. You're really getting into your hip, okay? A couple circles one direction, and maybe a couple circles in the opposite direction. And again, just noticing your own mobility, how this feels. Hopefully things are opening up if it feels a little stiff today. Okay. Finishing there at the top, breathing in. Exhale, unwind so you can step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, back to a warrior one. Left heel will plant into the floor behind you. Find that energy shift, find center, rise. There it is, warrior one, very nice. Exhale, opening to the left side of the room for your warrior two. Dropping arms to parallel. Yeah, adjusting your feet. Be sure your right knee and toes, check in with it. They're pointing mostly forward. Even here, we're trying to create an outward spiral, outer rotation, this front leg. It may not feel like it's doing anything, okay, but we want to feel like it's spinning, okay, that way. Okay, side angle. Let's reach out, angled upper body, rotate the arms here. I usually stay up pretty high in this posture with my right arm braced against the inner right leg. You can be there, you can be higher up, you might be lower down. Okay, so fingertips might touch the floor or bring in a block. Nice opening through the heart space and hips, yeah? Certainly a hip opener. Let's breathe in. Exhale, a careful turn and fold, hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Just a slight pause so you feel that realignment through the body. And then another shortcut to down dog. Just soft knees, hips into the air. You can certainly move through a vinyasa, a flow if you want, but the shortcut's just fine right there. Other side when you're ready, and inhale to extend left leg up and away, reaching back. Again, doesn't have to lift high initially here. Feel the extension. Now we'll create the hip opener. Bend the knee, lifting the knee. It lifts the leg a little higher. Good, I like that. The little circle in the ankle is nice there too. For the ankle, and then the big circle with the knee getting into the hip. Okay, yeah. You might drop it, big circle up and around a couple times, and then the other direction, or maybe keep them small, whatever feels best, okay, for your body. Finishing at the top there, breathing in. Exhale, let's unwind and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat or near the top. Wiggle the toes forward if you need to. Right heel plant to the floor, so an outer rotation really to get into that back leg. Rising to first warrior. Exhale, opening to your second warrior. Make some adjustments. Maybe get a little wider in the stance if it feels okay. Check in with alignment. Left knee and toes pointing forward. Follow the left arm forward, angled upper body. Rotate here. High and low, good extensions, energetic reach. Yeah, there it is. In your side angle pose. Perfect. Staying up high. High might even be your left arm or left hand on the thigh, while right arm reaches into the air, or closer to the ground with the left hand. Okay, again, whatever feels best on this side, because it might feel different. Here we go, breathing in. Exhale, here's our turn and fold. Hands down to the mat, back to plank pose. Feel free to take another shortcut to down dog or complete the series with Chaturanga Dandasana. Find a back bend. It might be upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog.
Nice, well extended spine in, down dog.
Okay. Taking a nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, monkey pose. That's that halfway lift, flat back. Yes. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Coming up, reaching into the air. Big stretch. Exhale, arms down to your side. Finishing there. Okay? All right. There's our big warm up. Check in with the body, shoulders, neck, all the way down the body as you need to. Okay? All right, we're going to do tree pose. Tree pose, of course, is a balancing posture, but I really like it because it's a hip opener here too. Okay? All right. So starting grounded on 2 feet, soften the knees a little bit. Just be aware if you've locked your knees, they'll soften up there. Shifting weight over to your right foot. Yeah, root down, press, feel the energy in the whole leg. Then feel tall. Breathing in. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, pull belly in. There's our security. Picking up left foot. Bending the knee. Okay. Flex foot down there. Maybe thighs parallel to the floor. Here's the hip opener as the knee swings outward. Maybe to the side or maybe just the corner of the room. We're going to place the foot on the inside of your standing leg. I always go to my calf. You can always bring it higher or go lower. Yes? And then an inhale to extend your arms up. They could be straight up like that or out. Or bent elbows. There you go. Good. That's it. Yeah, use the ground. Use your toes on the floor if you need to. Okay. That lifting sensation, the activity of the torso rising up out of the pelvis makes space in the belt line. So your knee might even point a bit more towards the left side of the room. Let's keep arms extended. Swing the left knee forward towards me. Lifting the knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground. Balanced on 2 feet here. Then you can bring your arms back down by your side. Release that. Shake it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. Yep, there you go. And your hips too. Perfect. Okay. Back to our mountain pose. Feeling balanced on 2 feet. Soft knees. Weight shift to left foot. Press. Active leg. Tall upper body. Lightness. Exhale. Connection to center. Peeling left foot. I'm sorry, right. What foot is that? Right foot? Off the floor. Okay. Flex there. Thigh parallel, there it is. Swing it open until it just stops. You want to feel your hips still facing forward. If you're turning and you turn, okay, we've gone too far. Okay, you want to feel like your hips are still square. Foot placed on the inner leg, somewhere high, medium, or low. Use the ground if you need to, or use a wall if you need to walk over to a wall, or if you're near a wall, use it. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, draw belly in, securing, and that's constant, right? Breathing in for the extension. Exhale to that contraction and stabilization. Good, wonderful. There it is. Arms stay extended. We're going to swing that right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, balanced on 2 feet, and your arms can return to your side. Finishing that. Let it all go. We're done. Shake it away. All right, back to our mountain pose. Let's just continue to flow here. Whenever you're ready, an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Feel nice and tall, good extension. Exhale, swan dive. All the way down towards toes. There it is. Inhale, rising halfway. Find that flat back. Exhale, bend your knees enough to place hands on the mat. Hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you want to, Chaturanga Dandasana. Or find the flow that works best at this moment. There it is. Inhale, up dog. Okay. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're just going through a flow here. Go at your own pace. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Bending the knee. The twist is in the spine. It's a hip opener. Unwind it, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Back to warrior one. Left heel turns to the floor, shifting the weight back so you can float up. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. There it is. Side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. We're going to keep moving here once you're in place. Breathe in, more extension through your arms and spine. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the mat. Okay, we're going to sweep the right foot back and right back up into the air. Back to a down dog. Right leg is extended in the air. Keep it straight. Reach through your toes or your heel.
we're going to high lunge. So next exhale, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Your weight may have shifted way forward, so you need to pull the weight back. Hands should be light, maybe forward or out to the side, so you can hinge from hips, rising here. Keep reaching, touch the ceiling, but also lunge. Yeah, you might just bend the knees a little bit. Notice what's happening here. Left hip flexor, yeah? Okay. Keep reaching. Okay, actually, keep reaching, but another thing here too. Because you're on your toes behind you, you might feel a little wobbly. To engage, squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Imagine you've got a block between your thighs and you're squeezing it. So the legs and hips stay strong, okay? With that stabilization, follow me. We're going to bend the left knee, go slow. We're going to come to the ground. There. Once it's down, you're going to bring your hands to your thigh. Lengthen your foot behind you so you're on the top of the foot. You're going to pull back, okay, so you can get the weight off this front foot, okay, because you're going to wiggle those toes forward, maybe right up to the edge of the mat, okay. Place your hands on the thigh. You're going to, right in the middle, push, okay, to help you extend the spine, nice and tall. We're creating space in the belt line. That's an inhale. Exhale, and just start to lunge forward. Not too much, actually. We're not going to go too deep into this, okay? Just enough where you're coming forward, you're feeling something in the left leg there. In the knee, alignment is, if I drew a straight line, you can see it's down behind my heel. You might go a little more where your knee is over the heel or ankle, not past it, okay? So we're not going too far. Just so you don't feel too collapsed in your back. Because what you can do, when you've done this in other classes, you can stay up high and try to tuck your pelvis under, okay? Staying up high here. You'll still feel it in the left hip flexor, but won't aggravate the back. Okay? 2 more breaths. Okay? Now if you are in a deep lunge, we're going to kind of pull up and out of that. Again, you might lean back a little bit more, pull this foot back. So you have more of a 90-degree angle here, and of course here. Tuck the toes back behind you. Squeeze the imaginary block between your thighs. Arms up. With an exhale, press, lift. Go all the way up. Straighten the legs. Yeah? Nice and tall. Pivot left heel to the floor. It's an outer spiral of that left leg. Yes, turn sideways, drop arms to parallel. Okay, you're setting yourself up for triangle. So straighten your right leg. Yeah. Reach out over that straight right leg. Your toes are facing forward towards the front of the room here. And then rotate the body. Nice. Okay, so getting into this right hamstrings, the hips, side bodies, yeah. You can feel like your left hip is moving or being drawn towards that back wall. Just to create perhaps a little bit more sensation in the right leg. Okay, to come out of the posture, bend your right knee a whole lot so you're in a nice deep lunge, and then come up through a warrior 2, and then reverse your warrior, reaching right arm up into the air, either straight up or somewhere out in front of you, or even behind you, yeah? Just get some lengthening through the right side of the body. Nice, good lunging that's happening in that right knee. Good reach. And here comes a big windmill all the way around and down to the floor with the hands. We're stepping back into plank pose. Let's do something here before we get to the other side. Bring your knees to the floor. Maybe sit back into hero or just off the hands, because I want you to use your blocks, I think, for this. All right. Watch this first, because I'm not even sure if this is going to work. Okay. So we're going to do chaturanga up dog with the blocks. Okay, I shall even try. I'll do it this way, then I'll try to face you. So I'm going to do plank on my blocks here. Okay, coming down. Won't need to go down too far because you're going to go down pretty far there. Okay, you need to get onto the tops of the feet. I'm holding onto the blocks and kind of pulling forward. Shoulders roll back, pushing into the blocks, so I can get pretty high here and let the hips kind of sink. Don't worry if you don't get too back bendy. You don't have to. If it's out here, this is fine. Okay? Just want to give you a little bit more length in your arms so you can get your shoulders away from your ears, perhaps. Okay? And work your way into your back bend. I'm still trying to pull myself forward. Okay? And I think it helps with these
blocks that have a little bit of a, they're firm, but they're squishy too. So I can pull. Okay. So let's just give that a shot there. So pull blocks out in front of you. Okay. Wide on the mat. Get another block there. Okay. So plank pose on your blocks. See what that feels like. Okay. And you finish your push-up. You don't have to go down too far, or you can do that and just get more into your shoulders. Get onto the tops of your feet. Grip the blocks. So maybe spread your fingers out a little bit. Grip the blocks. Kind of pull forward and start lifting the chest. Feel like you're dragging yourself forward. Again, even if you're at an angle like that, this is fine for your back bend. Or keep pushing down and pull forward, sending heart forward. A little dip of the hips. Yeah. And you're in your up dog. It's a little bit more classical where your hands would be on the floor and just your feet are on the floor. Okay, set the knees down, push back. Let's just set the blocks to the side. All right, and then return to down dog. We're going to do the other side. Okay. When you're ready, inhale, extending left leg into the air. Bend and twist open. Okay, we're going to unwind this and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat, back to a warrior one. Right heel turns to the floor, finding your center, light hands. That's your indicator to rise up easily. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Okay, side angle, reaching out. Rotate here. Left hand down, right hand into the air. Very active opening as we breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor, back to down dog. Sweep the left foot back and right up into the air, straight line, keep it straight. Return left foot to the top of the mat, for high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. Notice if you went way forward like my body did, there's no way I'm going to be able to rise up from here. I need to pull back, way back. Hands are light. Now I can lift. Okay, here we are. Reach and lunge. Feel this hip flexor release. The more lift we have, because we are in a back bend, hopefully not too much distress, okay, in this low back with this lift. You can always come out of that sensation. Just like that up dog, you can kind of lean forward. Okay, keep reaching. Squeeze the imaginary block between the thighs so we can bring this knee down to the ground. Right there. Long foot. Bring the hands down, lean back, wiggle the toes forward, way out front. So you have a lot of space to work with here. Hands on thigh. Push into the thigh to help spinal extension. Exhale, draw belly in, start to hinge or move forward. Feeling the hip flexor stretch. Stay up high if you want. Even try to tuck pelvis. It's a posterior tilt of the pelvis underneath. Okay, it'll activate the glutes, that right hip flexor. Or maybe going a little deeper, only if it feels okay. Okay, without passing the knee or ankle bone. There. But staying up tall. If it's too crunchy back here in the low back, lean forward. Okay? So you don't feel like you're compressing the lumbar area. 2 more breaths. All right, we're going to press our way back and out of that pose. Let's drag that left foot back a little bit. Nice right angle, tuck toes, angle here. Taking the arms up into the air. Okay, good reach, core engagement, squeeze thighs together. Exhale, lift, press, keep rising, straightening the legs. Pivot right heel to the floor, outer rotation. Arms turn or drop to parallel. You've turned sideways. Triangle pose, reaching out. Okay, straight left leg as you're able, yeah. Breath. There we are. Good breathing to accompany the posture. And ready to come out of the posture, we'll bend the left knee. Nice lunge here, so we have leverage to come up, pass through your warrior two, reverse your warrior. Left hand, yes, reaching into the air. It can be slightly forward. Again, we're doing a side bend here. It resembles a back bend, so it feels kind of, if it feels pinchy, okay, in the side or hip or something like that, and then soften it. But really reach up. That'll help make space around the belt line. Lengthening through the left side of the body, through the rib cage there. Okay. Here comes our big windmill, all the way around, down to the floor. Plant the hand, slide the left foot back, plank. Okay, let's do the same things with the blocks. Set the knees down, sit back, bring in those blocks again, okay, and then return to plank pose. Okay, yeah, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana, or just kind of lowering down, bending the elbows, tops of the feet, pull forward, press down to lift up. Keep a nice angled upper body, okay? Or feel like you're still pushing down, but pulling forward, so you can kind of get this scooped sensation as you lift up, creating that nice arch. Hopefully not much compression in that low back. Inhale, nicely done. Okay. As we exhale, you can set the knees down. We'll just sit back, come off the blocks, just set them to the side. Stay here on hands and knees, and just come to cat and cow. Just a nice movement through the spine. That cat pose hopefully will feel good. You can even hold that cat roundedness, especially after all that back bend stuff. Maybe just one more breath in and out, cat and cow. And as you're able, sit back into hero pose. Now, if you can sit like this, stay like this, but if you need to sit on the floor in a regular fashion, do that, because I'm going to demonstrate something. So we are going to still do that high lunge where we come down. We're just going to tap the knee eventually, just tap and come right back up, shoot straight up, straightening the legs. Here comes that outer rotation there as I turn open, prep for triangle. We'll take triangle again here. Now, another thing here, see if I turn sideways, maybe you can see this a little bit better. Ways you can do triangle. You can keep everything tucked underneath here, but that lateral movement may not be very low. It's quite limited, okay, if it's like this. Okay, this is fine. Another way to do this, it's perfectly fine to push the hips back. Okay, torso, you'll be tipped over a little bit, but you'll stay long, but still go out over the right leg in this case, and you may go lower because of that pelvic movement. Okay, just some different ways you can do triangle. So here's our triangle. We're going to bend the knee, just giving us leverage so we can come back up. We're going to come back to Warrior Two, straighten the leg again. I'm going to spin the toes forward. So we'll be facing either side of the room here. We're going to take a fold. I'm going to inhale, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, bend the knees just to protect the back. Coming down, you can even bring a block in right here. Okay. We're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. We'll hold that. Here's a piece we're going to add to this. So we're working the right leg. So we're going to continue working the right leg, but I'm going to spin my left foot out a little bit, lunge that direction, okay? Turn this right leg open, outer spiral, okay? And be here. Okay, you can stay lifted, just step on your fingers. If you can sit, sit, okay? You don't have to. That's a pretty bendy thing in the knee. This is fine here, okay? Here comes that outer rotation again with this leg. I'm going to drop this leg. Okay, we did this earlier, okay? And if that doesn't work, stay here or bring it around this way, okay? So there or here. Okay, I'll just stop there. We'll add on after that, okay? There's more to that. All right, from our hero pose or seated position, go ahead and return to your downward facing dog. Take your time. We're going to go right into that high lunge. So inhale, extend right leg up and back, and right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Left heel stays lifted. Find your center, light hands, then rise. Okay. Once you've got the arms extended, squeeze the imaginary block to engage here, yes, in the hips and legs. Keep reaching high. We're bending the left knee. We're just going to tap the ground and come right back up. Tap, come right back up. Tall, lengthen the legs, yes. Pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways, drop arms to parallel. Okay, ready for triangle. Now, if your feet feel like they're too far apart, you can always bring feet closer together here. Then take your triangle, reaching out, tip it over. Remember what I showed you. You can push the pelvis forward, okay, or push your hips back. If you push them back, it might give you a little bit more space to get a little lower into the posture without compromising the pose. A couple more breaths. Yes. Getting ready to come out of the posture, bend your right knee, go for that lunge, use that as leverage to come back up, stop at warrior two. Re-extend the right leg, straighten the right leg, spin your right foot so everything's facing the same direction out the window, left side of the room. Adjust your feet so they're aligned underneath you. I call this a star shape, okay, with the arms, yes, just out to the side. Breathe in, get taller, longer with the arms. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, then fold. Make your way down, fingertips to the ground, or a block if you want to bring a block in. Then an inhale, rise back up to fingertips, extend the spine like you're doing monkey pose. Extend the spine, yes. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. A nice wide-legged forward fold. Adjust the feet. Breathe. Add movement as it feels good. Either upper body, twists. We are going to be getting into a deep lunge in a moment, but you can even do a light lunge here if it feels good. Okay, nice. All right, let's go for that lunge in a moment. Maybe rise back up to fingertips. You're just out of that deep fold. You're going to spin your left foot outward a bit. Okay, left foot out. Bend that left knee, lunge to that direction. While your right leg stays straight, but spin that leg so your toes are pointing up. Yeah, you can stay propped up on your hands like I am. You don't have to go down low at all, okay? There you go, nice. If you can go lower, even take the seat, go for it, only if it feels good on your hips and knee. But we're going to feel this at both legs, right? Left inner leg, right straight leg. All right, if you can, you may have to maneuver your hands, okay? Dropping that left knee down to the floor. So we're getting an inner rotation of the left leg, right leg straight out front. If this doesn't work, okay, bring it around to the front, yes? And do this position instead, okay? If you're here and it feels okay, you can even adjust this. If you need to bend the knee more or change it, whatever feels right. If you can, forward fold out over that front leg. And we're going to be adding on to this in a moment. Nice. 3 more breaths. Okay, after that third breath, if you're folded, let's come back up. Okay, maybe lean way over to the right because we are going to reposition this left leg, bring it around. Okay, and now we're going to get an outer rotation because you're going to bring this foot up onto your thigh. Okay, really just somewhere behind the knee. Doesn't have to be up too high at all. It can be not on the knee, but slightly behind the knee. Okay, hands behind you. Lean back into your hands. As you lean back, drag this right heel toward yourself until your foot's planted on the floor. Okay, push into the floor with the hands, straightening the arms, lifting chest as you send your heart towards this crossed leg as you get into this outer hip. Three more breaths here. Okay. We're going to turn this into a double pigeon. Double pigeon. Okay. So we're going to lean back just to soften this up. This right foot, you're going to bring that foot over to the left side, drop that knee down. It's going to guide you into a double pigeon. So double pigeon, really, if we were really getting into this, the right shin, the one that's on the floor, you want the shin, if you can, to be really parallel to the front edge of your mat. So if it's pulled in, your pushing it forward. There. So you're going to feel this in the outer right hip. Stacking this left ankle bone on the right knee. And then it would be the same here, knee right over or on the ankle. They don't have to touch, okay? If they don't touch, that's fine. Again, you can bring in a block right there. That works right there, something like that, okay? Some of you might be able to get that knee right down to the ankle. Okay, so double pigeon. A couple more breaths here, feeling this in the outer hips, yeah? Alrighty. How would I do this transition? Let's do it this way. So we're going to lean again to the right so we can lift this knee. We're going to take this leg. Okay, it's going to get an inner rotation, so you're kind of kicking that foot out, kick it back behind you. Straight leg, we're getting into pigeon. Okay, so the right leg is still in front here. This is where you kind of get into the ankle a little bit here too. Okay, now we had double pigeon where your shin was parallel to the front edge of your mat. This might be too intense for pigeon, so you can bring that heel in if you need to, yeah? Left leg back behind you, right up on top as you're able. Okay? Staying where you are. If you're low, that's fine, but you're going to come back up in a second because we're going to repeat what we did with up dog using the blocks. Okay? If you want, or just hands on the floor, or just bring your blocks to your side like this, slightly behind. I might have to move this foot a little bit. Okay, kind of behind you like so. Here. So you can push into the floor, or blocks here, lift, so you can get into this back bendy version of pigeon. But we're just using the blocks to have longer arms. Okay. All right, we're going to take a seat. Move the blocks away. Another lean to the right. Swing this left leg around. Let's get the legs, both legs out front, ready for boat. Breathing in. And exhale, cross legs, hands in front, hop or step back, plank pose. Full vinyasa to down dog or shortcut to down dog, any way you want to move to get to your inverted posture. Nice. Okay. Other side. Inhale, extending left leg into the air. Reach. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, back to our high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. Finding or shifting the weight back. Light hands rise up nice and tall. Reaching up, lunging down. Hug to center. Bend the right knee. Come down. You're just going to tap the ground. Come right back up. Okay, as you get tall, straighten the legs. Getting ready for triangle. So pivot right heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms to parallel. Again, if feet feel like they're too far apart, closer together is perfect. Reach out, tip it over. Pelvis can push forward or push back, okay, depending on the sensation you want to create for the hips and the leg. Yeah. All right, coming out of the posture, let's bend the left knee. Nice leverage to come back up. We'll stop at warrior two. Straighten the left leg again. Swing or pivot the left foot so everything's pointing towards the right side of the room. Adjust your feet, maybe a wider stance. Star shape here. Inhale, reach out with the arms, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in. Don't forget to bend your knees, then fold. All the way down, finishing the exhale. Rise to fingertips. Inhale, extend the spine, come forward. Exhale, fold, bend, release. So second time here. Maybe you're able to go a little deeper or add other types of movements here. Three more breaths. Going to soften that fold, just rise up a little bit. Now the right foot's going to kind of spin outward.
lunge or bend that right knee, go in that direction. Okay, we're going to spin that left leg so the toes are pointing up, so we get that leg stretch. Stay propped up onto the hands. Hips can stay high. There, that's it. Yeah, your right foot might be fully on the floor, or you might be on the toes where your heel is lifted. They're both correct. All right. Balancing yourself here so we can lower this left leg and dropping carefully that right knee down to the floor for an inner spiral, or if you need to, flip it so the foot's out here or in front here for head to knee pose formation. And then you can stay here if this is fine, or take a forward fold. Yes. There you go. Good. Good alternatives. Perfect. About 3 more breaths here. If you're in the fold, we're coming back up, leaning way over to the left, so we can bring this right leg around. Here now we're getting that outer rotation of that leg. We're placing the foot on top of the leg, just behind the knee, on the thigh, even flexing that foot. I'm just going to adjust my body here. Lean back into the hands so we can drag this left heel towards self, plant that foot into the floor. Press into the floor with the hands, lengthening the torso, and even sending the heart towards the cross leg. And of course, you can modify that sensation of this hip release or stretch. Couple more breaths here. We're going to get ready for our double pigeon. Okay, you might lean back, softening, so we can take the left foot, step it over to the right side, bringing that knee to the floor. And don't forget, we're trying to get that bottom leg, shin, parallel to the edge of the mat. Okay, and then stacking. There's several names of this pose. Double pigeon's one of them. Ankle to knee pose is, I think, the most accurate name of the posture. Ankle to knee pose. Or placing a block in between as you need to. Okay. Or fire logs is another name. So like you're stacking fire logs here. Okay. If this feels okay, if you're able to get the legs to connect here, you can always take this into a fold. Okay. Don't be deceived. Don't think that this feels good for my body. I'm like, my body's like, what are we doing? Okay, pretty intense, I have to say. Whew. Definitely intense. Those are hips. My hips are tight. 2 more breaths. All right, we're leaning back, we're rising up and leaning back. So the left leg's on the floor here. So we're leaning to the left so we can return to that inner rotation of the legs, like a little kick of the right leg there, okay? So we can take it back behind us, getting into a regular pigeon pose. Now again, the shin, this front shin, if it's parallel to the floor or to the mat, edge of the mat, you can always bring that heel in, bring that right leg back behind you, kind of maneuver to your pigeon pose. Staying up on your hands, even if you're kind of low at an angle like this, you can go all the way down, that's fine. But we are going to do the king pigeon version where you got your blocks by your side. I'm just using my fingertips here. Push into the blocks, lift, straightening the arms so you can get this lift. Nice long arms so you can really rise up out of that low back, shoulders down, away from the ears. Okay, very proud. Okay, Raja Kopatasana. Okay, king pigeon pose. One more breath. Okay, we're going to come back down. Sit off to the side. Swing that right leg back around to the front. Just make your way to boat pose.
All right, breathing in like you're floating up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side. So you swing the legs back behind you, plank pose. Complete your series. Meet in down dog. Okay, nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to a forward fold. Monkey pose, just rising up halfway, flat back. Exhale for the release. We hold here for a couple seconds. Okay, nice stretch for the legs. Then a weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees like you're sitting. Re-extend the spine and extend your arms. Rising tall, extended mountain pose. Reach. Exhale, arms down to your side. Yeah. Okay. Shake all that loose. Okay. How are your legs now? Yeah. Okay. Feeling good. Okay. All righty. Let me just show you what's happening next. Okay, remember we did chair pose like 3 hours ago? Okay, so we're going to get into a chair pose. I call it cross-legged chair pose. Just watch. I'm just going to pick up a foot, a little soccer kick, cross ankle over knee there, a little bend of the knee. Okay, so this could be your pose. Okay, or sit back and down, getting deeper. It'll resemble what we did seated on the floor. We're just getting the chest perhaps closer to the shin. Okay. So mountain pose, nice and tall. Soft knees, okay. Let's shift weight to the right foot, nice and tall again. We'll pick up the left foot, bend the knee. Here's the soccer kick, okay. Cross ankle over thigh. Maybe place hands on hips. And then take a seat, because you want to maintain some nice alignment in the hips. Having your hands here might help, okay. They can be here for the first part. You can even bring them here. If you can and want to, you can send the hips back, send the heart forward, lowering the chest down towards the shin. Now, if you get close enough to the floor, maybe touch the floor or bring in your blocks if they're nearby. Getting into that left outer hip, yeah? There it is, good, okay. All right, we're going to rise back up, just kind of climb back up your body. Let's get the arms up, uncross the leg, lifting the knee, flex foot. Follow me. We're going to bend the right knee, the leg you're standing on. Hinge forward. Kick this left leg back. Set the toes down behind you. We're going to a high lunge here. Rising up. Remember this? Another 3 hours ago? We're going to bend the left knee. Tap, come right back up. Come up, straighten the legs. Pivot, left heel to the floor. Okay, open, prep for triangle. No worries. Triangle pose. Reach out, tip it over. Okay. We're not here long, we're just flowing. Opening there, bend the right knee for the leverage to lunge. Okay, back up to warrior two. Stay at warrior two, re-extend the right leg, spin the toes towards the windows. Adjust the feet. Inhale, reach out, get tall. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Okay, all the way down. Slightly lift up out of that deep fold, spin the left foot out. Lunge in that direction, bend the knee, flip the right foot up. Okay, toes pointing up so we're getting that hamstring. Okay, again, we're not going to be here too long. Okay, a little shift forward so I can drop this left knee to the floor in a rotation of that left leg or bring it around the other way. Okay, a quick fold, doesn't have to be too far. Okay, we're just flowing through this. We're going down, coming right back up. This is all the same. Lean to the right, bring this left leg around. Outer rotation, cross ankle over thigh. Lean back. Okay. Lift up towards cross leg here. Okay. Releasing, double pigeon. So right foot goes to the left of the mat. Stacking the logs here. Slight fold. Again, we're not going to be here long with these positions. We've already done that. I'm just flowing through them. Lean again to the right so we can take this left leg back behind us. Extending pigeon pose. Okay. Either fingertips on the floor or bring in those blocks. Press, lift, king pigeon. A variation with the back bend. Here. Release. Sit off to the right. Bring that left leg back around. All that hip work, just all this movement, just good hip work, okay? Boat pose. Okay, breathing in, float up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Perhaps hop or step back, plank pose, finishing the series, chaturanga. Another up dog there. Downward facing dog.
Once in down dog, breathe in. Exhale, float both feet back up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. Monkey pose, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Weight shift to the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming up, reaching high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Okay, other side. Straight legs, but soften the knees. Shift weight into left foot. Root, nice and tall. Picking up right foot, soccer kick. Okay, cross ankle over knee there. Hands on hips, take a seat. Send the hips back. Long spine going forward. Okay, pause whenever you need to. Hands on hips or here. Stay high or go low. Okay, coming right back up here. Climb up the body. No worries if you lose balance. Arms up. Uncross the leg, lift your knee, flex foot, bend the left knee so we can hinge forward. Kick that right leg back. More hip work just by stepping back. Okay, into our high lunge. We're going down. Tap the knee. Come back up. Straight legs. Pivot open. Prep for triangle. Take triangle. Reach out. Okay, lunging to come out of the pose. Lunge. Up to warrior two. Straighten the left leg again. Spin the toes towards the wall. Adjust the feet. Inhale, reach out, get tall. Exhale, engage core, bend your knees, fold. All the way down as you're able. Okay. Rise up partially. We're spinning the right foot out. Bend the right knee, lunge in that direction. Left leg stays straight. Spin the toes up. There's our deep stretch there. Okay, then we're taking the seat. Okay, like you're doing the splits almost. Left leg comes out, right knee drops. Inner rotation, we'll bring it around for the outer rotation. Quick fold, we're just going down. We're coming right back up. Leaning to the left, turning that out inner rotation to an outer rotation. Cross ankle over thigh. Okay, lean back. Drag the left foot in. Straight spine lift. Okay, chest to the thigh. And this is what we just did, standing, right? Okay. There's a method to the madness. Alrighty. So we lean back to soften. Left foot over to the right side for double pigeon. Again, just a breath or two. Okay. Again, nice and tall. Again, leaning to the left. Taking that right leg around to the back. Adjusting this front leg for your king pigeon pose. Fingertips or blocks. Push. Drag forward. Lift. Long leg behind you. Soften. Come down. Leaning again to the left. Right leg comes around. Instead of boat, let's come to cobbler's pose. Okay, just nice and tall for a moment, just for a little realignment. We're going to return to that little windshield wiper, okay, twist. So you're going to lean back a little bit, maybe hands behind you for balance. Take the feet wide, okay, and then drop knees over to your left. Okay. You might even add a twist and just keep rotating your torso to the left. Okay. Start to unwind. Okay. Facing forward, back up with the knees, down to the other side with the knees. Okay. Tall. Stay there or rotate. And our return to center. Once you're at center, adjust your seat. If you need to, come forward or rolling down. A little massage for the back. We've done plenty of hip openers, but you're welcome to do
Any others here? Happy baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose. Even another twist here, regular spinal twist or the windshield wiper twist. Or add other things we haven't done in a while. Maybe another back bend like bridge or wheel. And an inverted posture, taking the legs up into the air. I'm just kind of throwing out some options. Okay, you can choose one of those or several of those as it feels right for you at the moment. Or any other movement of the body that feels like it's a way of completing this dynamic practice. And if you are, and when you are complete, just find your way into Shavasana or any other restorative and very relaxing position. So there's this transition from an engaged body to a disengaged body besides the breath. Return to the awareness of your breath. Notice your breath. With this awareness, take 5 slow and complete breaths. Full breath in, complete breath out. Feeling movement now return to your body. Still breathing. Still connected. Reminding yourself that you took care of yourself in this practice. Perhaps releasing any tension or tightness that was bound up within you, letting it go. Now carefully and slowly roll onto either side of your body. Briefly here in a nurturing pose. And continuing to move as slowly as you can, guide your way up to seated. Perhaps crossing your legs if that feels good. Nice and tall, lengthen through your spine. Tall and proud. Arms can just rest in your lap, hands can be in your lap, or bring hands to heart center. Let's take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.